What has your experience been like so far in your major?
In my major,
Yeah.
oh, it's been a beauty. Actually, it's been interesting because I've been mostly doing because we're sophomores this year, so I've been mostly doing gen eds. And I minor in Japanese, so that's a lot of time as well. So I've done only 2 classes for my major so far, which were sound design and creative. No, it was the intro class. The
Mm.
intro class sucked ass. I'm gonna be real. Every intro class sucks
Yeah,
though.
that's
It's not
every intro.
Yeah, it's not really like something that's just to the major. Cause what was it? In the class, they like go over the very broad scope of everything. And it's really boring. Cause like sometimes they go into details on things you just don't really care about.
Yeah.
Like how to make a good presentation. Like this is shit you learned in like middle school and elementary school and high school. They grind it into your goddamn skull so fucking
Yeah.
much. And the most ironic part of the professor that was giving that speech was she was like a hypocrite basically. It's like don't put too much text on one slide, and on that fucking slide about putting too much text, it was fucking full of text. It was so fucking full. And she was reading it word for word, which is
Crammed.
another thing they tell you not to do. Don't read your presentation word from word. And she's
Good
doing it.
God.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I don't fucking care. Cause like, um, for what I want to do in life, I may give maybe a few presentations.
Mhm.
Or like if I was gonna pitch a show or something, I'd give a presentation. But it's
Yeah.
extremely different than what they teach you in that class. They teach you the PowerPoint presentation, the epiphany of presentations in college. Just fucking put some shit on a PowerPoint, stand in front of the class and give it. No one fucking does that in real life.
Yeah,
You're
that
usually
sucks ass.
in a pitch meeting or something, or like
Mhm.
you're in front of a board of guys that hate their life and are millionaires and they just
Yeah,
want something that makes more money.
right.
And if you wheel in there with a fucking projector and you start playing a PowerPoint presentation for them, they will just fucking look at
Dude,
you and be like,
fuck this guy.
they're like, get the fuck out. Like, just get the fuck out. You go into those kind of things with like, you got a rough idea of what you're gonna do. You hand them like rough ideas for everything. Like
Mhm.
it's really rough because you don't want to give them too much so like they don't think they can change shit.
Yeah.
So like it's just a pitch meeting. Like you just sit there and you stare at them. You tell them like really basic shit, like what's gonna do and why it would do good and like what audience it hit. Like you're not pulling out your fucking PowerPoint. You're gonna read your little what are those note
Note
cards? Yeah,
cards.
fuck that. No one does that. No one can do that.
Yes, bitch ass note
Yeah,
cards.
that's like something you do if you're like a business major because they're boring. They don't really care about. Sorry if you're a business major.
So,
I'm sorry, but the one business guy that I've had for a class, he had the Ferris Bueller teacher voice.
oh god.
And if you know Ferris Bueller, you'll know that's the most boring fucking sound in the world. Like you're just sitting there like, holy shit. Like I thought he was doing it on purpose. I'm serious. I thought he's doing it on purpose. He's like, Bueller, and he's like, today we're gonna learn about economics.
Just one volume, one
super
tone,
super
whole
one tone.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, he said some interesting things every once in a while, but like it's hard to like grasp when it's interesting because he's like one toning everything.
I like how if you say that, like sometimes you can get it past people and they won't notice. Like if
Yeah.
you say something like off the wall.
Yeah, if you just say it normally, no one will notice.
Yeah, and the ninjas came in and murdered everyone in the room.
Everyone's just
And
like
everyone's
writing
like,
it
yeah,
down,
yeah.
write it down.
Yeah, they're all like, oh shit, ninjas, murder.
That's another thing. I don't take notes in class. I'm gonna be real.
You don't?
I've never taken notes in class.
I always take notes in
Well,
class.
that's another thing they teach you in high school. I guess we're going more into depth on this stuff the next episode because it's about college high school experiences. But I'll just
Yeah.
say this: like they ingrain with you. Like I think it was third grade. It's a fourth grade was the first time. Like, oh, you need to learn how to take notes and take them fast because like that's gonna be like your everything in like middle school and high school, and they keep moving up the ladder. And then
Yeah.
in college, they're like, you should take notes because you'll do it in your job. No, you won't. Like you're not gonna be in. Like, you
No.
might jot down some things and you remember, like, okay, this is happening on this date. On like, oh,
Yeah,
I
like,
need to be
oh,
here.
I have to do this today.
Yeah, or like, oh, he said like do this. Like I'll write down I need to do this and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, you're not scribbling down everything they're fucking saying. Like, there's people in my class sometimes that are just scribbling everything down. I'm
Jeez.
like, "Man, you don't need to do that." Like, just, like, if you sit there for me, this works. It doesn't work for everyone. I'll say that, but I sit there and I absorb like a sponge. I
Yeah.
just sit there and listen to them. And note taking does help with that if you wanna do that, but, like, you don't need to write down everything the man says. I see too many people
Yeah.
do that. We're in the intro to creative tech class, man. You don't need to write everything this woman's
It's
saying on how to make a good presentation. Like it doesn't need to happen.
it's you'll be just fine
You will
without
be
it.
fine, man. Like this is not teaching anything. But anyway, the intro to creative tech class, it was mid. It was mid as
Mid.
shit. Just because you're off the walls everywhere. We did some fun things, but like it kind of just felt a little forced. Like there was probably 5 projects that I did. And I liked what I did for the most part.
Mhm.
I did have to do a presentation. I hate presentations, especially when they're
Yeah, they
forced.
suck.
Like the topic is picked for you. I
Oh.
got I got VR, virtual reality, and I pulled out. This is a great one. I had it was basically a speech presentation,
Mhm.
and I had a speech I wrote in high school for communications class because I
Yeah.
was taking it for college, and I just reused that entire speech. I literally I was like, "Fuck, I think it's still in my docs." And I looked it up, still there. I just whipped that out. I put
Damn.
some pictures on a presentation. I I didn't even practice the presentation again. I was like, "Bro, I'm just gonna fucking wing this." So I walk up
Got
there.
it.
I have my sheet. I just read it. I don't even bother looking up because I don't care enough. B plus.
B
B
plus.
plus. She said the only thing she says like you need to look up more or something. I go, I don't fucking care.
That's good enough for
I still
me.
got an A in the class because I was like, I'm doing fine. I just need to get through this shit.
Mhm.
But audio edit. I think it was called sound design. Really great class. I made a top tier final project. I was really proud of, and I thought the whole class was gonna see it because you peer review a lot when you're in art class or
Mhm.
art school. I guess I don't know what you want to call it. Um, and so I didn't get peer reviewed.
Aw,
Like he said we're gonna get to everyone. It was like it was the
bastard.
last day and we didn't, and I just like walked out. He offered like if you wanted like some critiquing, like you could join a Zoom call with him. I was like, oh,
That's extra
I was
work.
like, yeah, I was like, I don't want to bother. So I never got peer reviewed, even though it was really good. It was like a Shogun era samurai fight. That
Oh,
was
I
cool.
remember you showing me
Yeah,
that. Yeah, that was good.
yeah. So I liked that, but oh well. Anyway,
Oh, well.
yeah, that's all the experience I have so far in creative tech.